Well, I got it back to the workshop and there it is. Engine, toolbox. Now I'm going to have the fun in trying to get this out. It took 4 of us to lift the engine in, and the problem being is you can't use a crane or anything like that to get it in, because the sump to the top of the head is literally as tall as the opening. I might end up taking the head off of it whilst it's in the car and taking the head out and taking the block out. But first I need to get the toolbox out. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to have to find somewhere. Cinema. Getting that out was nice and easy. Actually, to be honest, it's not all that heavy. One person can lift that on their own. Just. This, on the other hand, not so easy. Kind of struggling with this because obviously I want to take it apart, show you how to take the head apart, because it's a bit of a unique design. But in the same token, obviously I don't want to record it whilst it's in the vehicle because it will just come out crap. But I'm going to have to take the head off to get it out. Oh well, I'm going to see what I can do. If I can get away with just taking this breather section off so I don't start snapping things off. Great. See if I can roll it out or something. Otherwise I might just take the clutch and flywheel off and hope that it's light enough and try and manhandle it onto a table or something. Who thought ever this was a good idea? Oh well, it's keeping me occupied, it's keeping me out of trouble. And it's all done so I can go home, because it's New Year's Eve. This will probably air mid-January. It's New Year's Eve, where's my phone? 1:45. Most people are probably getting ready to have family over and chill out and enjoy and welcome the 2017 that everyone's hoping is better than the 16 we've just been through. But no, not me. I'm doing engines in boots of cars, and yeah, I went out with my mates last night. It wasn't too clever. It was very clever, but this morning wasn't. Right, I'm going to crack on, see if I can take as much of this off as possible and get it out. If I can't. If I can, great. Catch up with you in a mo. Well, I got the engine out of the car. I did end up stripping it, which there was no point in me putting on camera because you wouldn't have seen it in a dark car. However, when I get to the point of rebuilding it, it's fairly self-explanatory how it come apart, but I'll go through that when it's done. This thing is the toolbox that I picked up. Yeah, thanks for welding. I'm not gonna, that's not welding, that's That's not even gluing. That's like sticking badly. They've taken the lock out and they've stuck badly this thing on. But apart from that, it's in fairly good condition. When I get round to it, apart from a bit of rust, and dirty, and believe me, it is disgusting inside. It's not in bad condition. Oh, and paint stuck on it. But this is the engine. Yeah, engine's done wee-wee. So what I'll do for the engine, because the engine needs to be done first. There's not really a time limit on it, but I want to get it done and get it out the way. I'll be cracking on with that very shortly. Pulling the head apart for a start, because it's at the top and lighter and nice and easy, and when the head's done and all built back up, it takes less space. Then I'll crack on with the block. Then maybe this thing. I think I mentioned before I have a track day plan booked. I've had some new oil cooler lines made. New oil cooler has been ordered because the other one was leaking. I think that's about it. But yeah, it's taken me most of the day to get that out the car. I need a van, but living in the UK means vans for insurance are very, very expensive. Yeah, this is going to be an action-packed few weeks, and I'm going to bring you along as much as possible. I'm going home. It's New Year's Eve. I'm going to go out for food, I think. Don't even know what the time is. 5:10. I'm going to go out for food. Probably going to go out for Chinese, assuming we can get in anywhere. And I think that's about the excitement of it. Anyway, Happy New Year to everyone, all tens of watchers, and I'll see you in the new year. Ciao. Hello, welcome back to Andian Autos Motorsport. This is going to be part one of the 182 Clio engine build. For the regulations on this championship, you're not allowed to do a thing to these engines. You're not allowed to blueprint them, you're not allowed to modify them in any way, shape or form. If there's any manufacturer's casting defects, you either get another part or suffer it. You're not even allowed to remove defects. It's a little bit... but I can see why they've done it, and they've done it for a reason, and it's so that you can literally just get a second-hand engine, pull it out of a road car and put it in. It's on a control ECU, so they're all going to act the same. But this one's done quite a few miles now, and she needs a freshen up, so it's just going to be a really basic engine build. I say basic, we're still going to measure everything, but you know, there's no machining involved. You're allowed to pass over the face of it to make sure it's flat, because obviously they don't want you throwing cylinder heads or blocks in the bin if the thing's been overheated, and just trying to keep the costs down, which, hey, it seems to work, and it's worked so far, so can't see why that's not going to be an issue for the future. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't show you taking this apart because a previous video somewhere, to get out the car, I had to take the head off because it was just too big of a lump to get out by myself. But to get the head off, you have to disassemble the entire top end. Now, these 182 Clio F4R engines have a, well, I believe it's a unique design in the fact of the cam cover on the top that you see, that everyone sees, is actually integral and holds the cams down. That's the cam ladder with the cams in it, and if I just tilt this up without them falling out, that's the top of the engine. Look, that's where you put the oil in. That's a breather. So that's it. You have to undo 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24 bolts. To get the cam ladder, cam carrier job off. Cams just pop straight out. There's some other bits you have to remove. There's an engine mount. That's the breather I was talking about. Obviously you have to take the belt off. And then you take the cylinder head off. Nice and easy. Well, so far, just from looking at it, now I've cleaned it up a little bit, this doesn't look in such bad shape. However, I can tell it's been burning some oil, been going through some, and it looks to be coming from the intake. So, similar to what we've had with that, this has been blowing oil up, but it's not been blowing into a catch can because there hasn't been one. It's just been blowing it straight back into the intake and burning it that way. Now, I don't know how well this is going to come out on video, especially the colours, but if I grab my torch, what have I done with my torch? My torch lives in the top of my box. Oh no, it's here. You see the golden brownness of them? I mean, when I shine the light on them, they look perfect. But when I take the light away, you can see a browny tinge. That one's good. Now I'm looking at it through the screen on my GoPro, and I can see it, so I'm hoping it's going to come out quite well. There you go. It's been taking oil in through the intake, burning it, chucking it out. Could have come through the stem seals, but to be further back of the stem seals, that takes quite something. But just spin that round. I've had a little dig around on these. These are the exhaust valves. I can't see a thing. There you go. Come on, focus. That's quite a lot of carbon build up. And now in the exhausts, oh, what one is it? That one. There we go. Right. I'm going to try my best to get a good shot of this, but I can't promise anything. Nope, too much. It's not going to come out so well, I don't think. Nope. Haha, there's a good one. Turn the screen back on. There, down in there, I'll show you when I take the valves out. The shiny part is oil build-up Now, having oil build up there is stem seals. It's the only thing it can be, because you can physically see round the valve it's wet. That's the stem seals. And also inside this, for the hours, miles it's done, this looks dirty, but I'll get my torch again. Other way. Actually looks, especially down in there where the lifters go for the cam arms, it looks really quite clean. I mean, you can see there, that part, see the lighter area, again there. This thing's been driven hard, but does appear to have been looked after. So I'm not so worried about the condition of moving parts. And when we pull the bottom end apart with all the bearings, I'm expecting to see normal wear, but I'm not expecting to see anything dangerous as such. But again, they're all going to be replaced. One thing I did notice, which I haven't seen in a very long time, torch again, see those 3 wear marks? And they're not that side. No wear marks, wear marks. No wear marks, wear marks. No wear marks, wear marks. Now to me, that looks like the belt has been over tensioned at some point and it's tried to pinch the sprockets together. Call them sprockets. They're not sprockets, it runs on a belt. Pulleys, there we go. So it hasn't run for very long like that, and when I took this apart, there's seals in the end that you have to put a plate in to time the cams, and we'll go through that later. Someone had put new seals in it, and you could see they tried to dig the seal back out. Now there is, I say, slight damage here where they try to dig the seal back out. Anyone that knows anything on these, in the centre of the seal there's a nice soft spot, so you just wang a pry bar in there, lever them out, that's it. You only use them once. Unless you've just done the job, realised that, oh, the belt's too tight, haven't got any more, and have to go back in and redo it. Yeah, see where I'm going with this? There was loads of silicone around it and I've cleaned it all off, and basically all I've done is the rockers. Now if I just spin the head back round, this is fun doing it one-handed. It's not particularly heavy, it's an aluminium cylinder head, but it's still big and awkward. There we go. Now this is probably going to fall off the edge, so there we go. That's the cylinder head, and that's the stuff I pulled from it. These are the little lifters. They stand up like that. This is the cam carrier, follower, goes up and down. Cam lobe sits on the top, pushes the valve up and down. Now this one's the exhaust side, because it's got the exhaust studs on it. This is the exhaust side. As you can see, they're black. I know this is the front because these two posts have these two spacers on them, so that's how I know that's the front. So this is the exhaust side, this is the intake side. This is number 4 because it's French and they start cam belt end number 4. Thanks France. So cam belt number 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks France. Yeah, number 1 is the other end because it's closest to the driver. Really? So these two being a 16 valve, these two are number 4, 3, 2, 1, and these are matched as well. So 4, 3, 2, 1. It's nice and easy and organised. Now, when I pull the valves out, which will probably be tomorrow actually, I'll pull the valves out, and hey, when I've moved can of Win, Northern Drink, and well, that can disappear, I've got space to lay the valves out. So I can lay the exhausts here, the intakes here, springs, caps, collets. Nice and easy, nice and organised. And excuse me, I'm suffering. We've had Christmas, and Christmas Day I wasn't feeling so clever, throat was hurting and that. Boxing Day, that was it, game over. I'm not moving. Unfortunately I've spread it around the house, so everyone else has got it, and they all love me for it. But I think today's the 2nd of January. I'm just getting over it. I can talk and do normal things again. Yes, I've had man flu. And hey, I'm back in the workshop. So I'm going to get this head stripped, and when I have, I'll show you how to take the valves out of the head. It's really quite easy on these because you can get to them. Just show you. When I say you can get to them, they're, I say, down in there, but the Saxo ones have a casting round here, very similar design, bearings in the head. They have a casting round here, so you actually have to get, imagine, right the way down. That's fun when you're putting collets back in. Yeah, so next stop, take the valves out, clean the ports up, not with any sort of abrasive material. I'm just going to soda blast them, clean the worst out with petrol diesel mix from a misfueling mistake, clean the worst of that out, and then just soda blast the rest of it and clean them out, and they've got to be really clean. Not going to touch them with anything else. I'm not going to touch them with any abrasive, any sort of polishing or nothing. It's just going to look like a brand spanking new head that's come off the production line. Yeah, the inside is, I say, dirty. Does it matter if I don't clean that? It's going to get cleaned, but if the it's not burnt oil, it's tainting. If the tainting of the aluminium doesn't come off, so what? Nothing's going to fall off in there. Just as long as the ports are clean and the big chunks of carbon which have been dropping out left, right and centre, all on top of my toolbox. I'll get that screen back on. Yep, they've been dropping out everywhere. You know it's not good when you pick one up and roll it between your fingers. It feels like sand, and you can just break it up and break it up with nails, and it goes everywhere. And yeah, that you shouldn't have in the engine. But hey, that's why we're here. We're going to clean it all out. Just visually, it doesn't look so bad. You might find a horror story when we take the valves out and have a look round and get it pressure tested, but We'll see. Time will tell. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Ciao.